Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I do my foundation routine. So stick around, let's get right into things. So today I'm trying out a new foundation and I'm super excited because I've heard good things about this one, but I've never tried it myself, so I figured I would try it. And I just got in the mail. It is BH Cosmetics and it is their liquid foundation, Naturally Flawless. I also got their concealer as well, so I'm excited to try these out and hope that I just found a really great foundation, you know? One can only hope. So I got the shade 208 Medium Beige, and hopefully it matches. It looked pretty similar on the website. So today I'm using my beauty blender, and I pretty much use a beauty blender every single time I do my foundation just because I really like how it sits on my skin. Like when you're kind of dabbing on the color, the pigment just kind of spreads a little bit more in like an airbrushed effect. I just always have problems using a brush with my skin because I feel like it just doesn't like it. And this isn't of course for everybody. Like I personally like this is just what I've grown to love, so I'm going to continue to use it. Brushes just always leave me streak marks, and like I went through that in high school and I'm not down to do that again. So I'm gonna get right into this. So before I start my foundation, the very first step that I do and like always will suggest is obviously wash your face, cleanse it, make sure all residue, makeup, oil, sweat, all that stuff is off your face. The cleanser I use is the Cera Ve Hydrating Cleanser. I'll leave a picture and prices and everything for you guys on all the products that I'm using. And then after that, I use a toner, and the spray toner that I'm using right now is from Lush. The toner that I use is, I forget how to say it. It's like Eau Roma something, spritz. I don't think that's it. So that's the toner that I use from Lush. And then after toner, I use serum. The serum I'm using right now is the Faced Hydrating Serum. I don't remember what it's called, but I will leave a picture for you. So after serum, I always go in with eye cream, and I'm using the Farmacy one right now. After eye cream, I'll go in with my moisturizer, and this is basically like 5 steps to getting a very flawless airbrushed foundation look. I also do exfoliate, and I use currently the Lush Dark Angels exfoliator, like scrub. It's my first time trying it out. I really like it. It smells good, first of all. It's like made out of all really natural ingredients. I really like their coffee scrub. I can't use it anymore because I'm allergic to coffee, so this was the second best one, and it's charcoal, super deep cleansing, exfoliating. It makes my skin feel so smooth. But that's pretty much it for prepping my skin. The next step that I do before foundation, of course, is prime. And I use primer and a little bit of green color correct concealer on like the more pink parts of my cheeks and my nose. So I'm gonna put that on and then get into the foundation. Now I just add a little bit of the correct concealer because if you do put too much, you can definitely see the green peeking through the foundation, and that's not what we're going for. I'm not trying to look like an alien. All right, it's time to test out this foundation. Ooh, okay, so I love pumps. These are super easy because I just like to be able to do this without having to touch it. Come on. Okay, so it doesn't really have a smell. Here we go. I think it's a good match. So far the coverage is pretty good. The formula on my face feels a little sticky, but I'm sure once it dries up a little bit more, it'll dry. I gotta say that's really good coverage so far. I've got pretty flushed skin because I do have rosacea, so a lot of that pinkness tends to come through in a foundation that's not full coverage. And that's why I usually go more towards medium to high coverage. So I actually like this foundation so far. I'm gonna open this concealer and test this out now, and hopefully I also really like this one. So this is the shade 100.5. This is Total Coverage Concealer, and that's about it. So I'm gonna test this out. I gotta say, I don't like this applicator. I don't like dragging this on my face, and I don't really like dotting it on my face with my fingers. Oh wow. This is super pigmented. And as I'm blending this out, I can tell I definitely put too much. So it's gonna be a full coverage day. So not bad on both products so far. The color pigment is a lot different and it's not quite blending in yet. I'm hoping that as it oxidizes and dries a little bit more, it'll kind of soak into my skin. Both of the products have really thick consistencies, which I kind of like, I kind of don't. The only reason I wouldn't like it is because I can kind of feel it on my skin as it's drying. Usually the way to figure it out is to just set it and see like how it all comes together. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm giving that a minute to dry because I did kind of put on a lot. You know, first time using something, you never know how much you're actually going to need. I'm really glad that the consistency of those products is really thick because that means you don't have to use as much, which means that you will have it for a longer amount of time. I like that a lot. You get what you pay for, and I'm pretty sure I paid less than $10 for both of these items, and that's like amazing for foundation and concealer. So what I'm gonna use to set, I have this under eye brightening powder that I bought from BH Cosmetics maybe like a month ago. So I'm gonna use that for my under eyes and like to bake my face. It is just a under eye powder. I mean, I've used it all over my face before, but I almost feel like it's too thick of a powder. So I'm gonna use this to bake, and then I'm gonna use my Mary Kay powder foundation just to get like the rest of my face. So the way I'm putting this setting powder on is I am kind of tapping it into the powder, obviously tapping off all the excess. And the way that I apply is I kind of dab it into the skin so you can see the dots. You don't want to swipe it because you're again gonna get those streaks if your foundation underneath hasn't fully dried yet. So once I feel like it's pretty on there, I'll go in light circles just to buff out any imperfections. And that's kind of how I achieve like a pretty airbrushed look. So I always leave the bake on my under eyes the longest because I want that to look really smooth and mattified and brightened, more so than the rest of the face, because that's gonna be chiseled out, contoured, blush, highlighted, all that good stuff. So that is it for my foundation routine. Skincare essential. You are prepping your face before you are putting stuff on your face, and you want that stuff to look good, am I right? So it's only natural that you would want to clean it off before you apply makeup. You want to always add a primer. You don't always have to add the correct concealer just because it's more specific to your face, like your face type. If you have different underlying tones in your face, then you want to get a different color. They have this in pink, yellow, orange, I think, like a whole bunch of different colors. It's all based on like what you have. So I use the green one. I really like it. Prep your face, apply the foundation, make sure it's smooth, apply the concealer, make sure that's smooth, and before you set and bake, you want to make sure that there are no wrinkles like under your eyes. So what I'll do before I set is I'll make sure to go in with the beauty blender and just kind of like look up and tap it lightly, and then right after I do that, I'll take the setting powder and place it right on it. just in a like really light patting motion. You don't want to press too hard because you could risk like accidentally removing some of the foundation. And that sucks when that happens, it really does. And then I presume to set the rest of my face with powder. You want to always do this. I mean, the main reason you want to do this is because anytime you have a liquid on your face, it's gonna continue to move. It's gonna dry, but it's gonna be able to be smeared, come off on clothes, and you just don't want that. So what setting powder does is when you apply the dryness of the powder on top of the liquid, it completely absorbs most of the moisture, but it takes out a lot of the tackiness, and like I can literally touch my face and like nothing will come off now because of that powder. I really like these. I'm so stoked that I really like these because, to be honest, I didn't have high hopes for them. And I don't know why. I've tried a lot of drugstore foundations. I've tried a lot of high-end foundations. And of course, my all-time favorite is my Estee Lauder Double Wear. Now, this brand isn't technically drugstore or high-end. It's kind of like in the middle class. I'm gonna continue using it for the week and see what I think. And hopefully it'll last me a while. I'm stoked on this concealer. I wish it had a different brush though. So what I might do is next time squeeze some of it out onto a little tiny brush to kind of use under my eyes. Aside from that, I'll most likely be ordering them again in the future. I had fun hanging out with you guys today. Thanks for watching this video. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks for coming and hanging with Han, and I will see you guys on the next video. Mwah.